Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, celebrating expression, fostering talent, and connecting the community to Columbus artists, performances, exhibitions, concerts, public art, and more at columbusmakesart.com. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.
This time on Broad and High, meet an artist who aims to energize your spiritual, psychological, and visual experience. Discover a musician who has overcome challenges to pursue his passion. Learn about a company that creates instruments that are works of art. And hear from a band that's a mixture of rock, pop, and punk. This and more right now on Broad and High. Welcome to Broad and High. I'm your host, Kate Quickle. In some ways, Leah Wong's paintings and paper cutouts could be described as landscapes. Multiple layers, as well as light and shadows, create depth in her work that often plays with the concepts of time and space. We visited Leah in her studio at Millworks and learned more about her approach to creating her 2- and 3-dimensional forms.
In China, I was just traditional European, Western oil painter. I didn't speak English when I came to the US 30 years ago. And the thing is that I couldn't recognize the word, but I can't recognize the number. And then the English become abstract lines, just the lines. When I start to see the world much infinite, much bigger, my work just feel like, ooh, I can do a lot of things with my skills. I'm glad I was trained like a painter and know how to draw. I know how to use color. All this technique I had training become, I don't think anymore. It's just there, because it is important for me to not to think about the technique, but when you need it, it come out. The inspiration of the light, the water, the air, we can't see them because we can't see air. We need it. Water, we can't hold it until you freeze in a container, but water is a flow, but it's very important. And all this nature of light, without light, we have no color. We can't say anything. So all these kind of things start to inspire me to think every day we have a pattern, but every day is different. So I just look every day, I look sky. Oh, sky is the cloud. So a lot of shapes that come out is the creatures is from the cloud. The cloud is morphing. So watch them, they start to move and moves different shapes. I think that's beautiful. This is my library, visual library. This is not for show. It's just for my notes. But if I look connected together, this one, some reason, maybe 5 years ago, this one 20 years ago, there are a lot of elements still shared. A lot of times, the structure of our mind and imaginations is there, but it's how to compose, how to interpret what you have right now. It's your personal. This one, I remember this 2003 during the Iraq War. This when I hear the bombs, during the time every day. I just feel that all the bird, all the stuff put together. It just, that's my feeling. But I like the moment, when I see the bird fly like group like this, and it become my kind of notes. Creativity has no time. It is no time. It's they're all related. We do cycle like the earth going on and turning. There's end. What is the end? Can you tell? My day is the other place is night. My night is other place daytime. So what is the true time? It all depends where you look at. So to me, I don't have a time there. It's kind of liberating. So whatever works, and it works. Communicate with you today should communicate with you 20 years from now. Positive and negative space is whole. It's one thing. It's not a separate thing. So when you cut out, you spark become a negative space. But negative space against a color, that color is show a shape. So you put together become whole. So basically, what I think when I create those cutouts, layers by layers, you layer shadows together, the visual complexity become much more interesting. And then you see things change your perspective, because when you see negative at some point become positive. When you see blue, you shift a little bit, become a yellow behind. So it's not the same anymore. Each one all related to each other. So basically, see, this is one line, right? So if I cut this one, I would cut this area, I was thinking about the thickness of this one. I'm not cutting out. I'm cutting these shapes of this one. So basically, this line, this thing, and this thickness is all deliberately designed. It look casual, look easy, but not easy. Because it took me to think a lot more to cut one area than, so it look very simple, easy. But the minute I cut it out, I have to make sure they're balanced. They don't drag each other. And these whole tiny little holes represent a shape. I kind of focus much more because I have to think a lot more than one shape. This one triangle here, I'm cutting 3 lines. I'm looking at this line, I'm looking at this line, I'm looking at this line at the same time. Because the thing that once you cut it out, you can't put it back. So I think very carefully. When I spot it, I get it right away. And if I don't do it now, I maybe do other things and forget. So then once I do it, I would look back. Sometimes I forgot to eat, I forgot to drink. At times it flies. And I like that part of it. Because like you sort of in this space, and sometimes you pop. You know, when I work, all of a sudden something just pop out. I said, I thought, oh, I'm gonna try this one. Not for show, not for anything, just for me to look at what that looks like.
To see more of Leah's work, check her out online at leahwong.com. Musician Dustin Clark's childhood was much like other kids, running and playing, singing in the school choir. At age 10, just as his creative mind was growing, Dustin was diagnosed with Becker muscular dystrophy. By the end of high school, he was in a wheelchair and retreating inward, mostly playing video games alone. Dustin had grown up in a musical family, and he was able to get back to music and began writing songs in 2011. Keep watching to learn more about how persistence and ingenuity helped him realize the dream of becoming a recording artist.
You know, if I can do it, anybody can do it, to be honest. I came into music limited from the start, and it was just this thing that I didn't have to think about. It was just in me, you know, to make music. My name is Dustin Clark, and I am a bedroom recording artist, and I make progressive rock music. So here's the apartment, here's my beginnings of my record collection that I just started. Art supplies, video games, and then over here is where the magic happens. I have muscular dystrophy, which is a genetic degenerative disorder. So my muscles kind of turn to mush slowly over time. So I have to get in a very specific spot to make it all work. I think the thing that really kicked off me making music of my own and recording it was I heard Deftones, the song Digital Bath by Deftones. and that song totally changed my life. That's when I really started picking up a guitar, and I would just use my dad's little acoustic electric guitar, you know, just so I could hear what I was playing. So I'd write like parts and stuff, but I was never able to play it all the way through, just because I'm limited physically. But I always could hear the song in my head. I think that was when I finally went like, oh, I'd like to record this stuff. My guitars were just starting to get too heavy for me to hold and play. We got an engineer friend of mine named Michael. He sort of helped us come up with this system where we could hang the guitar from the ceiling, and then we used this sort of hoist to get it up out of my way when I'm not using it. I got a new wheelchair, so I had to like relearn how to do this with the new camera. I think limitations breed creativity. So for me, it was like, this is what I got, and so let's use it. Let's find a way to write music that I can do. So I learned how to use a lot of open strings in my riffs and stuff. So my stuff is really easy to play. I think anyone could play it very easily. That was just part of the challenge, and I never really thought twice about it, because I think I was just compelled to make music. Like I'm really grateful to be alive now, because with software I can do things that I wouldn't be able to do. So I'm not a gifted guitar player, but through the power of editing, I can make some music. So yeah, I usually record it a chunk at a time, get it right, and then, you know, repeat it. You know, I could have felt very discouraged when I was discovering that I couldn't play the guitar the way my heroes could or whatever. But I didn't let that stop me, because I could have given up then, and that would have been, what a nightmare, that I would never have music in my life, you know, or the ability to create music. Especially in progressive music, there's so many musicians that will do a million takes to get the perfect recording of the guitar part. And for me, I get so much joy out of a noisy string, or, you know, a buzzy string even. Like, just, I think that's really cool. And so I'm trying to make more, trying to get some humanity out of it, even though I'm using electronics and stuff, you know, finding ways to make it sound authentic. There's enough perfect music in the world. I prefer, like, I want to hear humans make music. So I've kind of learned to embrace the humanity of what I do. And I sort of lean into the imperfections more than try to like cover them over, or, you know, quantize or pitch correct or any of that. Try to make it all perfect. So I have a MIDI keyboard, but I just don't have the dexterity for it. So I learned to kind of just click everything in, which is maybe a slow way to do things, but works for me. So really, there's just a lot of clicking when it comes to most of this. And actually, you know what I would do? I would beatbox the beat first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think about like the future, and maybe someday I won't be able to play the guitar anymore, but that doesn't really stop me from creating. You know, I have a ukulele project that's my next thing after I finish this album. And then, you know, if I can't play that anymore, I've got some electronic music I'm working on, and like hip hop type stuff. So like almost anything you hand me, I could make music with it. So really, I'm not afraid of losing, you know, my whatever strength I have right now in my hands and my muscles. So I have to create. I always will.
To hear more from Dustin, find him on Instagram at Dustin Clark Music. Collaborative and sustainable are two words that might best describe Tide Music, a company that makes instruments out of reclaimed materials. It was founded in 2010 by a pair of self-taught luthiers. We traveled to Northern California to find out more.
Tide Music is a collaborative company that makes instruments in North Lake Tahoe, California.
We kind of focus on ukuleles and other small portable instruments. For the ukuleles, we build 4 different sizes, and we have a soprano, a concert, and a tenor and a baritone size. It's a Hawaiian instrument, and the Hawaiians called it the ukulele, which means, I think, jumping flea, because the way they played it was real quick and it was like a flea jumping up and down.
We use a lot of materials from around the area. We've started out with the reclaimed woods because that's what we have available. We like different grains and different colors of woods to use in our instruments, and also tone-wise as well. They all have a little bit different sound. One of our partners, Klein, really turned us on to this building concept that, yeah, you can go out and you can use reclaimed materials because they're right in our backyard, and it's got character, it's got a story.
Our absolute favorite materials to work with are recycled piers out of Lake Tahoe, mostly because you're so close to extreme elements of the microclimates that swirl through Lake Tahoe. The sun bouncing off of the water and the way that magnifies, calcifies, and just bakes that wood, it condenses all the different wood structures. Then you have winds swirling up as they do in storms that'll just pop off at Lake Tahoe. They'll grab the sand and sandblast and put almost like an alligator print onto the wood. And then the ice comes in and it's breaking apart different places. Where the water drips, it does it more.
There's a lot of politics involved in taking something down in the basin of Lake Tahoe. And luckily our next door neighbor right here is the pier builder on the North Shore of Lake Tahoe. And so he dismantles them and rebuilds them. We get to go down with him, pick out materials from the pier that he's dismantling.
We start very carefully lifting the boards off to try to keep them intact as much as we can. And we're looking to cherry pick the very most interesting, most lake-affected boards that we can. And then there's the job to stacking them carefully, keeping them from twisting.
That office view, nothing like it. That's the best office. You go out there, you get to go check out material that has been weathered for years. We get to go experience these old piers that are falling apart, and they're reborn into an art form that we're like looking for different, knots and different textures and different materials to use. I mean, we even use some of the nails. Those aren't all going into the trash. There's so many things that you can think of. Your mind kind of is like, what am I gonna do with this material? Let's make something special, and it's a full-on story. Some people have been on that pier before.
I think the most successful pieces we have are when we find those pieces that show the reclaimed or the rough edge, and then we put that into an instrument. So someone does know when they look at that, they're like, okay, that's an ukulele, but why does it look like it's kind of chipped up, or how did that happen? And when someone looks at one of our instruments and can instantly recognize that, yeah, that came from an old piece of wood, an old barn, an old pier, old whatever, I think that's a pretty successful piece of art.
A lady that came up to us at the Reno Ukulele Fest fell in love with one of our reclaimed instruments, and we told her the story about it being from a Lake Tahoe pier, and that's what really touched her heart, and she walked away with a with that ukulele that weekend because her mom used to live up in Lake Tahoe, and that's what sold the instrument to this lady, was because it brought up childhood memories and thoughts of her mother. I wish there was more people like us to actually take material and make art with it and not have it go to the landfill and have other nasty things going back into the earth. I'm a big fan of just reclaiming wood and getting it locally sourced, but obviously we can't work with it all the time. Some people want that exotic wood, and we're not gonna say no to it. That's our clients. There's a lot of reclaimed materials that people are using, and I'm just stoked to be a part of it, and I'm excited to build more instruments out of it.
To check out more of their work, head to tidemusic.com. Big Fat Head is a band that describes themselves as art rock, post-punk, and even noise pop. After hosting Nate, Olivia, Jordan, Felicity, and Lorenzo in the studio, what we know is that they are serious about making music. And they have a new album set to release at the end of this month. Take a listen. To hear more, you can find them on Instagram. Well, that's our show. Remember, you can find all of our stories online at WOSU.org, as well as on our YouTube channel. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Kate Quickle. Thanks for watching.
Don't make me tell you twice.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, celebrating expression, fostering talent, and connecting the community to Columbus artists, performances, exhibitions, concerts, public art, and more at columbusmakesart.com.